Joining here live right now or watching at a later convenience. This is, I probably say this every single week, but the Kriya that we are doing today, I combined two of them together. They were kind of short Kriyas and they both have similar themes, so I thought it would be a really good pairing. So we're doing Kriyas to balance mood, metabolism, and emotions. And this Kriya is so different from any other Kriya I've ever practiced. And I believe I said that last week, but it keeps hitting every week. I'm like, okay, what is this? This is so new. This is so different. So I'm excited to share it with all of you and to see how it lands with you all. So these Kriyas are pretty self-explanatory. They're balancing your mood, your metabolism, your emotions. It's bringing you into neutrality. It is works on the nervous system. It helps to prevent depression. So super useful. I think it's a little bit of something that we can all use. And with my experience with practicing this Kriya this last week, something that really came through for me was neutrality specifically. We all have experience with going on these really high highs and we go into these really low ebbs, the ebb and the flow. And neutrality really is that really centered space. And I do a lot of focus on the middle way and how we have to balance this life of being spirit and human. And neutrality speaks to the middle way so deeply while we're in that human experience. And so I was a little confused by neutrality at first, because of course we love the highs and the positives, and to come into a really even place was a little confusing for me for a couple of days. But then once it settled in, it was really profound, and I ended up having a super profound dream about neutrality, and I won't launch into it, but it was cool. It was really powerful. So, so yeah, I'm excited to be sharing this with everybody. So a couple of things I want to go into before we start. Our final posture does require you to drink water. So if you do not have water at your mat right now, please make sure to go get some and have it ready. And then also, I will not be playing music for this Kriya. It's going to be silent. I have some music I'll play at the end for Shavasana. But I think we all know how much music influences our moods. And that's something I really appreciate when I put together a playlist for Kundalini. I love how the music can play on the experience. And because we're focusing on our moods with these Kriyas, I didn't want my creation, my projection of whatever mood I wanted you to be feeling to come in and influence your mood. So we will be practicing, other than my cueing, we'll be practicing in silence so that you have complete autonomy over your mood while we're working with our nervous system and our meridians and all of that. Also, we're going to be taking a little bit of longer breaks in between each posture. Usually it's anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute that we go into relaxation in between postures. This Kriya does specifically instruct that we have sometimes 1.5 minutes of relaxation. So it might feel a little weird, especially because we're going to be in silence, but roll with it. Just allow your body to really deeply relax and use that to your advantage. Okay, and then I want to give a quick breakdown because it's 5 postures total, and the first 4 we're going to be in the exact same spinal position. We'll be switching up the mudras, but the spinal position is going to be the same, and it can get irritating on the neck. So just a quick breakdown of how we can modify if we need to. And I'll cue the posture again when the time comes, but just to give you a quick idea, what we'll be doing is we're in easy pose, we grip onto the ankles and we arch the spine. We keep the lower back engaged, but we're really putting a lot of pressure below the shoulder blades and we're looking up. So it's this deep arch in the mid spine with the chin tilted up towards the ceiling. And we hold that for quite some time. And that gives me some irritation on my neck. So it's way more important to me that you're feeling safe in your body and that what's accessible in the body should be a priority. So if at any point you're feeling neck irritation, you can absolutely come out of the neck arching. You can keep your gaze forward. What was kind of helping me is if I'm looking up and I sort of project my chin forward and jut my chin forward, that helped me feel more supported in the neck. So please listen to your body. The idea is that we're sort of exaggerating the natural curvature of the spine. So having that tilt in the neck is why it's instructed that way. But honestly, if that's not accessible for you, then don't even worry about it. You can, if you come out of the neck arching and you keep your neck in neutral, what you can do is roll your gaze. Imagine that you're rolling your gaze all the way up to the crown of your head, and that will have the same energetic effect of pulling that energy in the way that the posture is intending for it to go. So I think that's everything I wanted to touch on before we launch into anything else. I have all of my seasoned practitioners with me live, so I'm not going to do a deep dive into the basics of our root lock, our drishti, and our breath. I'll just quickly say that the Kriya does not have specified drishti. I will suggest what felt good for me in each posture, but it's yogi's choice. When the Kriya doesn't specify, it's yogi's choice. So you have the option always third eye center, tip of the nose, or if you're coming into a neutral neck, I'm recommending that crown of the head drishti. And for this Kriya, all breathing is in and out of the nose. We do have some diaphragmatic pumping in some of these postures. So as always, if you're in the first trimester of your pregnancy, or if you're menstruating and tend towards having cramps, then skip the pumping, the navel pumping, and just replace it with really nice long inhales and exhales through the nose. And if you are new to Kundalini, go ahead and pause the video here and go over a little bit more of the details of the basics. Okay, let's tune in. So finding a nice long straight spine, easy pose here. Closing off the eyes or blurring the gaze, and we'll bring the hands to heart center, rubbing the palms together, building heat, creating friction, waking up our nadis, our energy channels. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose as you settle in. Finding stillness in the palms, press the thumbs into heart center, straight line from elbow to elbow. We inhale. Hold at the top. Open mouth, exhale. 2 more. Inhale all the way to the top. Engage your root lock. Roll the eyes in and up. Hold. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale to the top. Hold. Engage the root lock. Lower the shoulders from the ears. Exhale. We inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale to the top and hold. Engage your root lock, roll the eyes in and up, shift the volume of the breath to the lower belly. Exhale, release the palms, face up in the lap, allowing for some natural breaths here as your body absorbs the vibration of the mantra. Because our entire Kriya, the postures are seated, I added a couple of extra warm-ups for a little bit more dynamic movement. We will begin, as always, with Sufi circles, bringing the hands to the shins, ankles, knees, and we'll inhale forward over to the left. Exhale, rounding back to the right. Really getting the neck involved, since we are going to be having so much focus on the neck in this Kriya. Weaving in any organic movement with your circles. Switching direction, inhaling over to the right, exhaling, rounding to the left. Morning to the body, good morning to the breath. Finding center, finding stillness, neutral spine, inhale to the top and hold. Engage your root lock, roll the eyes in and up. Exhale, palms face up on the lap. Relaxing the body, relaxing the breath. Short break here. We'll move down onto the spine, laying down for the next two warm-ups. Bringing in some movement from 2 weeks ago, our last Kriya that we did together. Crossing the wrists over the chest like a mummy. We'll bring the feet together, and we're going to be doing our pointing and flexing our feet just for a minute. Last time we did it for 4.5 minutes. So since we're only doing it for 1 minute, really try to find a pace that's a little bit faster for you as we're balancing the ankles. We're sort of recalibrating the ankles here. So inhale, point, flex the feet up towards your face. And on your exhale, point them down towards the ground, I suppose. We'll continue here for 1 minute, coordinating breath to movement. Inhale, flexing the feet, squeezing the body, hold at the top, pull the root lock. And as you exhale, relax the hands down beside you, relax the feet, relax the breath, allowing the body to absorb the effects on a cellular level. You have the option to keep the hands at your sides. We're going to be doing some navel activation, some leg lift circles. So I will be bringing my hands, palms face down under my glutes, under my lower back to support my back. Whatever variation is accessible in your body is yogi's choice. We'll bring the legs straight up to 90 degrees. We point the toes, keep the legs together. We'll take an inhale here. And on the exhale, we bring the feet towards the ground, bending the knees, pulling them back in towards the chest. So that's your exhale. Your inhale's up, your exhale circling the legs down and around. To modify, if that does feel inaccessible in your body, then we'll keep the knees bent and simply touch the toes to the ground on the exhale. Inhale them back up straight. Bending the knees, touch the toes. Commit to your variation. Legs up, we'll take an inhale here and exhale, begin. 1 minute here. Gentle activation of the navel, strengthening the foundation of our practice and our spine and our core. Fifteen more seconds. You can pick up your pace if that calls to you. Inhale, feet up to 90 degrees. Hold the breath at the top. Engage your root lock. And on your exhale, release your hands, gently release the feet to the ground, and relax. We'll bring the knees into the chest. You can find some circles, some sways, massaging out the lower back. Bringing the hands to the back of the thighs, we'll rock and roll up into a seat. At least 3 times rocking on the spine. Gaining momentum to come into easy pose. So we'll begin our Kriya with our spine flex posture. The purpose of having the spine flexed in this way is that we're specifically pressing the vertebrae that will activate the liver. So by holding ourselves in this posture, we're pumping the navel, we're inviting in this really powerful detox, which of course helps our metabolism, but we all know how our bodies are linked with our energetics. So by detoxing the liver, detoxing the nervous system, detoxing our moods, we are bringing in a really powerful experience, a holistic experience for our entire body. So I'll allow you to come into the posture before I begin actually cueing the posture so you can feel it in your body. So once again, you'll be in easy pose. You can grip onto the ankles or the knees and really arch the mid spine. Imagine that the lower back is still engaged, pulling the shoulder blades down and back together. And the goal is that you feel a pressure below and in between the shoulder blades, sort of at the, like really right at your mid spine. You tilt the chin up towards the sky, which can help to encourage that pressure between the shoulder blades. And this is where we'll be holding. So you can go ahead and come out of that now that you know how that feels in your body. So for the first posture, I'll be cueing 2 really good breaths. So you inhale really fully, you exhale really completely. And then on the exhale, we'll inhale and exhale twice. On the exhale, we hold the exhale and we pump our navel as fast and as hard as we can for about 15 seconds. So you don't have to count. I will be counting. I will be tracking it for us. And we're going to repeat that cycle for 6 times and then we'll relax. So go ahead, come into the posture, find your arching, make sure you feel that pressure between the shoulder blades. If it's comfortable in your body, tilting the chin up towards the sky. Let's take an inhale together, deep inhale through the nose. Complete exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold on the exhale, pump your navel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump. Inhale. Exhale, doing so good. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump. Inhale. Exhale, last one. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, find a neutral spine, hold your breath at the top. Engage your root lock, roll the eyes in and up. Exhale, palms face up on the lap. Relax the body, relax the neck, the jaw, the diaphragm, the pelvis. Feel the effects. You'd like to drop the chin to the chest, bringing some release in the neck, you're welcome to do so. Please be loving and slow on the neck, it is tender. For the next posture, the spine will be in the same position. Our mudra will be different. We will have the hands together, sort of like an Anjali mudra. We do not bring the thumbs to the chest. The hands do not touch the body. It is just palm to palm. We cross the right thumb over the left and really lock it in, locking that left thumb in, pressing the palms together super firmly, straight line from elbow to elbow. We'll come back into the spinal flexion. We are going to take 3 complete inhales and exhales. On the 4th exhale, we hold and we pump the navel again for a similar about 15 to 20 seconds. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. We're taking, again, we'll be doing 2 breaths in between rounds of pumping. But it's going to be a little bit less pumping, might feel like, than that previous one that we did. This mudra is said to be like a master mudra, that we can completely control our nervous system with this mudra. It can help prevent depression. So we're really moving things through here with this one. Remind your body to pull the shoulder blades in as we're pumping, and remind yourself to press the palms together really as firmly as you can. So finding the mudra, locking the right thumb over the left, pressing firmly, arching the spine, looking up. Let's take 3 deep inhales and exhales. Begin through the nose, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump as fast as you can. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale. Hold and pump. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump. Doing so good. Press the palms. Roll the shoulder blades down and back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold and pump. Remember, you can jut your chin out. That can help support your neck. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Hold and pump. Inhale, find a neutral spine, neutral neck, hold the breath at the top. Press the palms together, pull the root lock, roll the gaze in and up. Exhale, release the hands, palms face up on the lap. Consciously relaxing the entire body, the neck, the head, the face. It's normal to feel sensation, to feel emotion. Your body might even have some shaking throughout these postures. That's good. Option to drop the chin towards the chest, releasing the neck. And roll the chin from side to side. Again, moving slowly, mindfully. And for our next posture, same spinal flexion. Our mudra will have the arms straight out at shoulder height, palms face up. We touch as much of the inside edges of our arms together as we can. So edges of the pinkies come together. If you can get your forearms to touch, then do so. Whatever's accessible in your body. If it's just the pinky fingers, that's totally fine. Trying to keep the hands at shoulder height the entire time. We'll be here for 3 minutes. You are going to feel heat build. You might have some shaking. Use the breath to move it through. The breath is simply really long, deep, powerful inhales and exhales through the nose. So if you do feel that shaking come up, you're feeling that heat building, use the breath to move it through. This posture involves a mental kriya that I will be cueing for you as we go in. So by locking into the mental aspect of the Kriya, locking into the breath, you can really help to move everything through. If you can try to stick with this for at least 2 minutes, I highly encourage it. Of course, 3 minutes is the goal. If for any reason you have to come out of it, if you can wait until after 2 minutes, that would be my recommendation. So we can get to that mental shift in the Kriya itself. But please do what's accessible in your body, no matter what. Bring your hands into position, edges pressing together. Come into the position with the spine, the neck, and we'll begin. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. We're rewiring the brain while we're activating meridians in the body. It's powerful, it's effective. Make sure you squeeze the shoulder blades down and back, feeling that pressure in the spine. In this posture, I like to use the tip of the nose, drishti, because as we're rewiring the nervous system and our thinking patterns, the drishti of the tip of the nose also helps to create new neural pathways. So that feels like a really nice combination. While you're here, squeezing the arms together, begin to purposely bring in negative emotion. It could be jealousy, resentment, fear, whatever it is. If there's something going on in your life right now that brings up negative emotion, we call on that. Bring up the physical, the emotional sensation of that emotion in your body. Continue in this way until I cue the shift. Really applying pressure as much as you can in those hands and the arms, doing so good. And now shift your thought patterns to positive thinking. Begin to call in gratitude, call in love, open-mindedness, acceptance. Completely shifting the thought pattern from before. You feel how that weaves its way throughout your body, your psyche, continuing to summon in the optimism while you hold the physical stance in your body, allowing the breath to move it through. Remembering any variations in the neck that you need. You've got 30 more seconds here. Really give it your all. Engagement throughout the entire body. Breathing like you mean it. Symbolism of the palms face up, offering it to the divine. Inhale, neutral spine, hold the breath at the top, squeeze the arms together, pull the root block, roll the eyes in and up. Exhale, relax the arms, palms face up in the lap, deeply relaxing the body here. Feel the lightness in your upper body after releasing that engagement. Relax the navel, the jaw. Try to drop the chin to the chest. Find any other neck rolls or release. Okay, we're going to move into our last posture in this final position. This posture is incredible for balancing the mood with the metabolism. We bring the right palm out at shoulder height. The palm faces in towards the left. And we bring the left palm back towards the side body with the palm facing in towards the right. This is called the sitting archer pose. We bring the spine into the same position, the neck into the same position. We hold for 1.5 minutes, and then we switch sides, extending the other arm forward. So beginning with the right arm out, come into the spinal position, commit to whatever drishti you like. I like the tip of the nose for this one as well. And we'll begin our count. Nice, long, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Pulling the shoulder blades together, feeling that pressure. Almost there. Still utilizing the breath to help alchemize any physical sensation. I think it makes sense that neutrality doesn't really come easy. And switch, extend the left arm forward, right arm back. Recommit to the spinal flexion. Whatever variation in the neck you found. This is it here. You've got less than 30 seconds. You're doing so good. Inhale, pull both hands back to the side body, neutral spine, neutral neck, hold at the top. Engage your root block, roll the eyes in and up. Exhale, relax, release. Great work. Option for any neck rolls, any other release. Okay, we're coming into our final posture. This one posture is a Kriya all in itself. This Kriya is for emotional balance. First, we have to drink water. So I recommend getting a really good chug. I would say imagine that you're drinking a full 8-ounce glass of water. It's like 10 to 12 gulps for me. As soon as we're done with this posture, we're going to go straight into our Shavasana. So I'll let you know when it's time. This posture is instructed to start with 3 minutes. And if you'd like to do this posture in the future, just on its own, you can work your way up to doing it for 11 minutes total. So I will time it for 3 minutes. If it's your first time doing it, I recommend sticking to the 3 minutes. But as we, in the future, if you're doing it again and we move into Shavasana, you can extend the length of time that you're doing it for. We tuck the hands into the side bodies, the thumbs remain out, and we pull the shoulders up to the ears. We engage our root lock, or not necessarily our throat lock, because we're still breathing, but we invite in that same gesture of pulling the chin back in towards the throat. The purpose of that is to have a nice, long, straight spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Our eyes will be closed, and we do really long, rhythmic breathing in and out through the nose. So you can relax for now. I will typically recommend a 7-second inhale to an 8-second exhale. By doing that, you are slowing your breathing rate to no more than 4 full breaths per minute. You can absolutely slow it down more. The idea is just not to do it faster than that. When you get into this position and you're really settled in, your breathing will naturally slow down. So you don't really need to count the lengths of your breaths. The only reason I'm saying that is to get you in the mindset of having really good, long, deep breaths going on. So what happens when we get upset, we balance out the body's water balance. We drink water, we slow our breath. So by doing those 2 things right there, we're already right away getting ourselves out of a sort of fight or flight state. And then by bringing in this engagement of the upper body, it gives us an indirect control over our mind. We know as yogis, we know that our thoughts will never go away, but our relationship to the thoughts can change. So by coming into this position, having this lock in the upper body, our relationship to the thoughts changes. The thoughts will be there, but we're no longer identified with them. We're no longer affected by them. So by doing all of those things together, the water, the engagement, all of that is going to totally bring us out of an upset state. So this is something that can be done at any time, anywhere, and will help to bring you back to neutrality in a quick way. So we'll go ahead, coming into the position, bring the shoulders up to the ears, bring the chin in towards the throat, and I'll let you know when we're done. Nice, long, deep breaths. Drishti is yogi's choice. You can play around with any drishti, see what feels best for you and commit. While keeping the upper body engaged, see if you can invite in relaxation in the lower body. Can you release any tension in your pelvis, in your navel? May still feel some shaking in this posture. That's normal. Stick with it. The gentle release of the upper body. Slowly make your way down onto your back, gently with love. Find a nice, easy transition into Shavasana. Begin to bring awareness back to your breath. Returning to the here and now. You did amazing work today. So wake yourself up with love, with gratitude, setting the tone for your day, your week. Beginning to invite in some movement, brushing the tip of the thumb against each fingertip, saying hello to this beautiful physical vessel that you get to walk through this life inhabiting. Wiggling the toes, finding some circles in the wrists or the ankles. Moving the head side to side, maybe swiveling the hips, the shoulders. When you're ready, inhaling to a full body stretch. On your exhale, pulling the knees into the chest. Rolling onto either side. And eventually making your way up into a seat. Bringing prayer palms to heart center. As always, we'll close out practice with the prayer, the Longtime Sun, followed by Sat Nam, meaning truth is my name. Let's rub the palms together one more time, activating that energy, that groundedness before we move into our day. And finding stillness, press the thumbs into the chest, inhale. Hold at the top. Let's engage our root lock one more time. Open mouth, exhale. And we'll inhale to close. May the Longtime Sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Sun. Nam. I thank you all so much for joining me this morning. This is a very powerful Kriya. I invite you to take some time at some point today to reflect on neutrality. And what does neutrality mean for you? And who are you when you're in neutrality? There is this amazing and sort of unusual de-identification that happens when we come into neutrality that can feel really new. And guide yourself, tap into that inner guidance to become familiar with neutrality and what that feels like. And our ego wants to say, oh no, something's missing, when in fact we are comfortably settled in a more unwavering place. So guide yourself. And if at any point you have questions, please reach out to me. I love the conversation. I love the insights. I'm always here. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. I love you all. Sat Nam.